What's going on, guys? I'm Zach Cooper, your Splinter Cell community developer. We're here outside Ubisoft Toronto, and today we are going to get our hands dirty. We are going to go inside the combat of Splinter Cell. So picking up where we left off, now that I'm fully conscious again.
Awesome.
You're Kevin Secor.
Yes.
And you are the stuntman and the combat consultant for Splinter Cell Blacklist. So talk to me about what that means and I guess how you got involved.
Well, the guys at Ubisoft had a very specific sort of vision for this game.
The sound feature that we wanted to create was being one fluid movement all the time, you know, so very Panther-like. I was looking for someone that was trained in Kali and Russian Sistema and had some Krav Maga experience.
So they saw some of my work, they saw the kind of movement stuff that we do in our styles, and they approached me and asked me if I'd be interested.
I know there's obviously a lot of secrecy involved in your resume, but if you can talk about what I guess you can talk about, it's like 30 plus years of experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the it all blends together.
And what are we talking about when we talk about martial arts? For you in particular, what do you use? What arts have sort of come together to make up Kevin Secor's?
It's tough. I mean, I started, you know, karate, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, Russian Sistema, Kali, and some Silat, Muay Thai, ground wrestling, plus a lot of law enforcement and defensive tactics training.
So just a little bit. Now, when it does blend together, I mean, what is it that we're going to see in Splinter Cell Blacklist?
Unmatched flow. We are going to see a level of fluidity that I believe has not been in games before.
So delving a little bit deeper into the combat, there's lethal, there's non-lethal. This is probably foolish of me to ask, but can you maybe demonstrate some of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the basics, of course, we have a basic sort of vascular restraint, so we can choke in this position, you know, with two hands. We can choke here, suppressing the mouth. You can find the ones you like. Listen to this one, right? Oh, that's yeah. Just. From there, we get obviously into the neck break, so there's different ways of using the hands, using the forearm, even using levers in this way to break. So those are some of the basic lethal. And then we get into hits. For non-lethal, we have a number of concussive hits. We have the brain stem. We get into the sort of brachial junction, getting into antagonistic pressure with chin, shoulder hits, hitting this way, hitting this way, hitting with the forearm. So those are some of the basic ones.
Few of them. Let me sort of regain some of that.
It's good.
Wicked.
Math comes back.
All right, so the knife is obviously back. That's a pretty big deal. Talk to me about the karambit, I guess.
Yeah, well, traditionally Sam was using more of a sort of a straight blade style weapon, which was great, but we made the movement towards a karambit. So this is a traditional karambit. It's an Indonesian blade. The distinctions of the karambit, first and foremost, is that it has this ring into which you can insert your first finger. The main reason for that is to facilitate retention. The inner edge can be used for hooking actions, rending, tearing, and the outer action, because of the arch, has a more sort of fluid curve. And the curved blade gives you all of the same sort of impaling and stabbing capacities as a straight blade. So one of the distinctions, because of that curve, it allows me to sort of use it to sort of emphasize, you know, I could be going for tendon slices, but using it for quite good control. I can be accessing muscles in the neck, whatever the case is. So it gives you a lot more. One of the options you're going to be seeing Sam using quite often is sort of can openers, where he can use the, for either intimidation or actually, impaling and using it as a handle. Sam is using a markedly larger than conventional size, but that's still shorter than a lot of traditional battlefield karambits, and he has a serration on the back as well, so it gives you some different options for manipulation.
And this one's obviously for the mocap.
This is for mocap. That's why we have the mocap markers on it, so that you can see it in operation. And it's all in keeping with this notion that Sam is like a panther. And so one of the traditional names for a karambit is the panther's claw. And so it fits very much with the stealth elements.
We probably could have demonstrated with that one on me.
We might have been able to, yeah.
We have Kevin and Eric working together, and it becomes difficult to kind of tell who's doing which movements at times. The first day on set, I remember seeing them walking side by side, and in between takes and everything, they were just training, and it was like we were trying to get them together as much as we possibly could. That ended up helping Eric think almost what would Kevin do, but then they've both started to think together, what would Sam do?
Eric is an absolute gift to this game. He's a joy. I mean, he's a student. He's passionate. He's open. He's put in so much time in his tactical training, in learning the craft. And, you know, I'm not a stunt guy. I'm a defensive tactics guy that was brought in. So the first faux pas that I make is I'm big into contact a lot of times. Eric doesn't shy away from it. He goes towards it. There's never been an instance in this game when Eric has done anything other than surprise me with how quickly he's evolving. So he's just, he's embodying, I would say he's channeling his inner Sam Fisher pretty well.
I don't want any surprises.
I had no idea what I was going to see in Kevin. I was expecting him to be trained. I was expecting him to be controlled. I wasn't expecting him to be as creative. With Kevin, I find that I'll see him do things. That will change maybe my perception of a move that I want him to do. He'll be using his hand behind him to kind of erase footprints when he's moving stealthily and everything. And there's things like that I really like, that I feel that we could bring to the animation. He brings the action element of Fisher to the game for me.
Good enough?
So there it is. Managed to survive the day somehow. We met the man behind the combat of Splinter Cell Blacklist. Thankfully, we'll get to communicate again in the near future. Make sure you let us know what you think on our Facebook page, on our Twitter account, and on the official Ubisoft forums. Until next time. Oh.